And then sometimes we hear reference to secondary mutations. And can you help us understand what secondary mutations mean to us as patients and whether you'd have just a secondary or two of them together?
Well, primary and secondary, it's sort of misleading. Now, we should talk about pathogenic mutations. So that mutation is a prerequisite for actually being predisposed to develop the disease. Secondary mutations used to be called secondary mutations variants, which now we know are polymorphic variants that are distributed in the population. So I personally have a couple of secondary mutations, but just because I belong to haplogroup T of mitochondrial DNA. Someone who belongs to haplogroup J has secondary mutations. So I would not call these secondary mutations. I would just call these specific polymorphic variants of the normal haplogroups. Then what we definitely demonstrated in a very reproducible way is that primary mutation, so 11778 or one of the others, on a haplogroup containing these variants that used to be called secondary mutations, they can synergize and modulate the severity of the mutation or the penetrance of the mutations. But pathogenic mutations is the only thing, the only terminology we should consider right now.
Forgive me, I don't mean to dumb down the response. Everything you said, of course, is correct, but it's easier to think of secondary mutations as just variations. You know, you got blonde, you're brown-eyed, you're blue-eyed. It's just a background situation. It doesn't cause disease.